Ya, asinizwa kodwa. Eh. Awucishile kanjani?
Hayi yasebenzisa.
Siyalizwa. Ya. Wena usuyasibona? Wethule futhi kwenzakala wethule.
Umnyothile uphethe.
Oh, umthile.
Hlakanipho. Emak sensayi yipe futhi yile. Oh okay. Enhlaka
Sure.
qhubeko.
Ya siyakuzwa.
Oh okay, hayi unjabule la ngiteste isound yami la.
Uyasibona lapha?
Ngiyayibona istage seni lapho but angikuboni wena kwicamera.
Okay, ngizovela manje.
Oh ya singakubona uphelele nje uphelele. Hola. Hayi ku right thing. Hayi sure bafethu.
Shule bazoganga lawo. Sure.
Okay, sure.
Hayi ku right thing. Hayi sure bafethu.
Shule bazoganga lawo. Sure.
Okay, sure.
Hayi ku right thing. Hayi sure bafethu.
Shule bazoganga lawo.
Okay, sure. Yashisa manje. 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 Oh, yeah,
Yeah, right camera. No, it's not integrated. It's internal. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Alikhulumi
Imani ngatizo tuko. Simane si ngathi sifuna kanti ikhebhile kade isihlupha kanje izolo.
One, two, one. Makawan. So, Bengu. Ya siphela aniteste phela ukuthi kuze ngikwazi ukuza ukuthi ngizonizwa iningi lapha. Imike ubhengu bese ichumile uHalimani bathi angizela sebethesta lokho kodwa ngilana nje ngingabezwa bekhuluma. Asibezwe.
Oh, the two, yeah. Yeah. Macingwane? Macingwane ngizwe? No. Feedback is right. Macingwane?
Yebo,
Uyangizwa?
awuphinde ukhulume futhi.
Uyangizwa yini?
Ya, uyezwakala kwena uyangizwa yini?
Uyangizwa kahle?
Ya, ngiyakuzwa mina manje. Uyangizwa wena?
Ya, ngiyakuzwa.
Okay, awuphinde ukhulume futhi ngifuna ukuzwa ukuthi kumi kanjani?
Angiphinde ke?
Awukhulume.
Macingwane?
Ya, awukhulume ngizwe futhi.
Uhamba kahle ngalapho ngizwa kahle, nice and clear.
Okay, no kulungile ke. Uright.
Hayi, ngiyabonga.
Okay.
Saba kakhulumi bese Khoro. Betul. Khoro. Yebo. Betul. Siyazwana.
Yebo.
Khoro. Ayan. Uyambona ngisapha? Ngicela ucheck isando sokugcwele stage. Okay. Khoro.
Sure. Siyazwana.
Yazwakala?
Sure.
Khoro ngilini.
Ukhona ngizwa. Jeps. Uyangithola?
Okay, good right. Izwakala sound yakho.
Testing, testing, testing. Oh my God. Yeah, testing, testing. 1 2, 1 2, 1 2, 1 2, 1 2, 1 2, 1 2, 1 2. Okay, 1 2.
We can hear you.
njengoba ungibalile lapha angithi
Angithi ubandolo ke la. Mina ngithi olo ngi-in la yimina.
balile lakho bese beyivalile le camera le. Right. Imake. Okay. Kufanele senze into okay. This is a song kufanele siyidlale manje. Because silalela ngayo. Yes, score. I'm right. The microphone yami. Uqola Nibhengu, which is line. National anthem. Yeah.
Thank you very much. As you all leadership and concern police and public and transparency, chief of the school classes and parents, chairperson and member of the SCD, chairperson of the SCD Association, very much for your presence, colleagues. May I make this announcement that we are strictly have to adhere to the COVID-19 protocols that we don't seek those which are one another. We observe social distance, educating and questioning the money. Police to us, where to please control the crowd. We are strictly adhering to the 50. No one will have to move up and down the hall, outside the hall. We have our purifiers at sea. We are expecting everyone to move up and down the doors. Existing tables, the counter chairs, and the contents, the other and please, if you mind, please do not take care of your family. Please don't allow the enemy those that will be place on those here. We don't have any none of the customers of the toilet and the call. So I will also be there. And what it is in the hall, please raise that all hands. I take it for granted that as I say right now, we don't execute in the hall. We vacate your text. Thank you very much for not to waste of time. I'm going to call Ms. Rashid and our husband please on the stage and welcome us all to you. Thank you very much.
Ay, ngesikwazi. Ngesikwazi.
Which came?
Our 2020, because unlike they were facing masses of challenges with respect to all schools here as the country with the advent of COVID. Therefore, the church today is celebrates
through the Department of Education's program to recover. Again, you have shown us that hard work pays, and would like to call on all stakeholders to join us in our efforts to nurture our youth and help produce an educated population, adequately equipped for the fourth industrial revolution. Honorable guest, our gratitude goes out to teachers, learners, parents, organized labor for playing their important roles respectively. Teachers being at school to teach and learners being in class on to learn. The matriculants of KwaZulu Natal made us proud with their performance under trying circumstances where the virus was claiming lives of many of our family members. However, amid all the doom and gloom, you all persisted, and in the end, you have achieved your goals. Ladies and gentlemen, the ANC-led government is serious about education, hence it remains an apex priority. Education is the only hope we have for the complete liberation of our people. The steady increase of the matric pass rate over the years, both at provincial and national levels, continues to give us hope for the future. For this reason, we must continue to improve access to education and ensure no child is left behind, particularly those who were previously marginalized. We are also encouraged that during the uncertain period of the pandemic, government has intensified its efforts to provide social protection for vulnerable individuals in our communities. We have no doubt that it is because of such interventions that the country has been able to create an enabling environment for young people to thrive and complete the curriculum last year. Honorable Premier, as the country celebrates 27 years of democracy, we must reimagine post-COVID-19 South Africa and collectively work together to build a better life for all. While this pandemic has brought unimaginable challenges, we must come out of this in a better position to create opportunities for a more equal and just society in which all citizens are able to participate meaningfully in the economy of our country. Program Director, eThekwini Municipality recognizes the importance of investing in youth and ensuring that there is access to education. For the class 2020, we have already allocated funding for financial needy students through our Student Relief Fund. This intervention assists students who have performed well with the registration fees and academic fees. We have also identified areas where there are scarce skills in the country and have stepped in by providing a bursary scheme to fund students in the field of engineering, architecture, quantity surveying, and applied chemistry. Finally, we want to assure you, Honorable Premier, and all our guests that eThekwini Municipality will continue to partner with the provincial government and relevant stakeholders in the education sector to build a strong and educated nation. I thank you.
program, HOD Dr. Nzama, the Premier of the Province, KwaZulu Natal, Honorable Zigalala, and the First Lady of our province, the Speaker of the Legislature, Honorable Boyce, members of the Executive Council who are present here, Inkosi yasemadungeni, Nkosi yesizwe, sibingelele umntwana wasendlunkulu, Makeba, the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Education, Sotobe, the leader of the official opposition in the legislature, Baba Uhlabisa, Your Worship, the Mayor of eThekwini, Babu Kaunda, the leadership of the labor unions. I've seen colleagues from SATU, NATU, and NAPTOSA who are present here. Leadership of the SGPs. I've seen Makeba. I'm not sure whether there are other colleagues who are present here. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, and everyone who has graced our occasion today. After a tumultuous academic year that threatened to compromise the future of our learners due to COVID-19, we once again rise to present the 2020 results for the National Senior Certificate. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we remember the wise words of President Mandela when he said, and I quote, "A new world will be won not by those who stand at a distance with their arms folded, but by those who are in the arena, whose garments are torn by storms, and whose bodies are maimed in the cause of the contest," unquote. The 2020 was the year where all nations of the world had to make difficult choices in the quest to save lives against deadly coronavirus. We too in the education sector had to disrupt the academic year for months in order to save lives of our educators and learners. Faced with the possibility of a bleak future, our teachers and learners refused to stand on the sidelines in the creation of a new world that we envisage beyond COVID-19. They entered the arena contaminated by COVID-19. They had their garments torn by the storms of COVID-19 and had their bodies maimed in the cause of contest to save the future of our country. Today we stand to bear testimony that these heroes and heroines entered the battle with the sole intent of winning, and indeed they won. We proudly say the class of 2020 is indeed a class of steel. It will go down the annals of history as the most resilient class since the dawn of freedom. The tests, trials, and tribulations that we all had to go through bears testimony to the fact that from here, you will go very far and remain ready to deal with any challenges that you might encounter along the way. And in any battle, ladies and gentlemen, there are always casualties. Whilst we declare victory, we also acknowledge that the sector suffered some casualties. We present these results today with heavy hearts, having lost 253 teachers and 38 non-teaching staff, including our employees in offices due to COVID-19 related illnesses. As we pay homage to these frontline workers in our system, we are pained by the knowledge of the devastation and hurt that has been inflicted in their families. The bravery of all our fallen heroes and heroines, along with all the hardworking employees who continued to pay service to the nation will forever be etched in our hearts. History will remember all of them as fearless fighters who gave it all in the fight against the invisible enemy. And we say, may their souls rest in peace, and we shall forever strive to ensure that we honor their legacy. Ladies and gentlemen, it is also important to note that 2020 was also the first year without what we normally call the modularization. And this meant that this system of modularization meant that some learners, particularly the progressed learners, had an opportunity to elect to write certain subjects and complete the rest in the following year. And this time around, everyone who was admitted for matric wrote all subjects at once. We give this account to the people of KwaZulu Natal on the mandate they gave us to ensure quality education for all. Just 2 days before the Honorable Premier of the province take his podium to account on how government responds to the needs of the people through the State of the Province address. It is during the State of the Province address that we as a Department of Education will also receive our marching orders for the year 2021. We take pride in the fact that we are a government that does not only make promises, we take very seriously the importance of making good on our commitments. It is for this reason that we are today very delighted that once again get this opportunity to account on how best we have performed after the people of the province of KwaZulu Natal gave us a mammoth task of creating a better future for all our young people through the provision of the quality education for all. Ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, I would like to briefly report to you that throughout the work from the beginning of the year, the highest number of learners we have in the system forced us to send throughout the province of KwaZulu Natal 2.6 million question papers, which was not an easy task. This required dedication, organization, and proper planning, without which it would not have been possible. Our 1,700 invigilators did a sterling job in ensuring that all the 135,276 full-time and 12,460 part-time learners sit for their examinations under very tight but professional supervision in all 1,768 examination centers across the province. We'll also like to shower accolades, ladies and gentlemen, to the 8,130 markers who dedicated their lives, or rather their time under COVID-19 conditions, in the quest to ensure that we are able to finally have a class of 2020. Honorable Premier, KwaZulu Natal is the biggest system of education in the entire country. And therefore the importance of, and therefore its performance also largely determines the national performance. In the year 2020, there were 135,276 candidates who searched for the National Senior Certificate, which was an increase from 116,937 who searched for 2019 examination. It is pleasing to note that whilst we agree that the provision of basic education in our province is highly complex, given the size of the system and the fact that 70% of our schools are in rural areas, we take pride in the fact that we have performed so well as a province of KwaZulu Natal. From the total number of candidates who sat for examinations, 104,985 passed their examinations. This is compared to the 95,017 who passed last year. So there was an increase of more than 9,000 learners that we passed in 2020. And KwaZulu Natal accounts for the highest province that produced many learners who have passed grade 12 in 2020. So we may be number 4 in terms of percentage, but in terms of real numbers of learners who passed the 2020 matric, KwaZulu Natal ranks the highest, and we take pride in that. We are also pleased to have achieved 51,060 bachelor passes, increasing from 44,189 bachelor passes in 2019. So there's been also a serious increase of bachelor passes. In terms of diplomas, in 2019, we had scored 35,195, and in 2020 it was 44,189, yet another increase. The higher certificates increased from 18,086 in 2019 to 18,658 in 2020. So this is a demonstration, Mr. Premier, that indeed the largest system in the country is also maturing in terms of quality. We are on a steady yet constant increase in terms of the quality of the bachelor passes, or of the passes that we produce as a province. It is also worth mentioning that the province seems to be on an upward trajectory when it comes to passing mathematics, having moved up to 51% from 47% in the previous year. So there is indeed an increase in mathematics and other gateway subjects. This is a good sign for a province like ours, which has a desire to produce many learners with good results in mathematics. Obviously, Premier, because we are honest people, we acknowledge that we still have to do more in physical science, in accounting, and in other newly introduced technical subjects where we have not performed well. And it's one thing that will be seized with henceforth. We also take pride, or note with pride, that in terms of positioning of all our provinces, of all the provinces, we have improved from number 5 to number 4. So, i-Western Cape njishiye kancane nje ngo-2%, which is number 3. Manje sivumelene nayo ukuthi kulonyaka sibhekene ngqo ne-Western Cape in terms of positioning. We need to increase to number 3 at least. Ladies and gentlemen, in terms of the overall percentage per district, it's as follows. Number 1, we have got Uku district at 81.7%. At number 2 is Umlazi district at 80.9%. At number 3 is Umkhanyakude at 80.6%. Khanyakude kule makhaya. At number 4 is Amatuba district at 80.5%. Followed by Umkungundlovu district at 80.3%. Followed by Ilembe at 76.9%. Followed by Zululand district at 76.7%. Followed by Pinetown district at 75.8%. Herikwala district at 75.0%. King Ketwayo district 74.8%. Uchugela district 73.5%. Umzinyathi district at 72.6%. Now, Premier, we have not moved from your instruction that all the districts should actually perform above 80%. And we believe that it's a task that we need to fulfill this year. Yes, there are still challenges that we are facing, but we need to work hard as a system so that all districts perform at above 80%. Now, as we did again last year, we want to congratulate Uku District under the leadership of Ubaba Usbiya for topping the list in terms of district performance. We say thank you so much, Sotobe, for the hard work. Together with your team, we believe that other districts will also be motivated to make sure that they catch up with Uku, but also no district is allowed to perform at below 80%. Our special schools continue to make us proud through their performance. Want to specifically mention the following schools: KwaTindwa, A.M. Mula, Faltin, and St. Martin's, who all scored 100% pass rate in 2022. Want to renew our commitment of giving all that is due to our learners with special education needs. To us, they are not a charity case. They enjoy equal treatment with all our learners. As we conclude, once again, thank all the learners for the resilience and commitments and their commitment to see through the year 2020 against all odds. To our educators, you remained true to the instruction by Professor W.E. Du Bois, who instructed that, and I quote, "The Negro, and I say the African race, like all races, is going to be saved by exceptional men and women. The problem of education amongst Africans is the problem of developing the best of this race, that they may guide the mice away from the contamination and the West and the death of the West in their own and other races," unquote. Without the dedication shown by the teachers, the African child in particular would have headed straight to the contamination and the death of the West. I say this because owing to the realities of inequality in our society and the education sector, the African child, particularly in the public ordinary schools, were almost completely cut off from the schooling, whilst other learners in privileged schools and from privileged families continued with online lessons. Our educators had to come through to guide this race away from the contamination and the death of the West. To the labor unions and the school governing body associations, we have made the work of all of us quite easy and enjoyable. Even when we differ at times, but we don't depart from the common purpose of building a stable and thriving sector. Isusane kona Mr. Premier, isusane impela. Kodwa ke sibuye futhi sivumelane ukuthi what is in the best interest of the sector is what must guide all of us. The stability we enjoy in the province is the foundation of our continued good performance. The victory belongs to all of us. Mr. Premier, you deserve a special mention and your cabinet for excellent leadership, which has led us to working beyond the call of duty, even in instances where conditions were not in our favor. We are indebted to you, Mr. Premier, and we wish that you continue leading us from the front. Member of the legislature under the leadership of Honorable Boyce, who has just celebrated her birthday, have always equally rose to the occasion and ensured that they discharge all their energies in holding us accountable. There's nothing we like more than being given an opportunity to account, because that keeps us in check. We like to be given a platform to tell our story. Even when we meet challenges, it is better to be given a platform to explain those challenges. And that's what we enjoy about our legislature. Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee, Honorable Sotobe, and the members of the committee, thank you so much for the support you have given to us, the support, the guidance, and the unparalleled passion that you show in the education sector. That has made it possible for us to even improve where we could not have seen that there are areas that we need to close in terms of gaps. Your monitoring is very, very tight. I mean, the oversight is very tight, and it helps us really even to pick up things that we would not have ordinarily picked up in the course of our work. So we really thank you for the work that we have done. To the employees of the department under the leadership of HOD Nzama, kusasa sibuyele emsebenzini bakwethu. Kusasa nje ziyasuka. But we want to thank you for again the hard work that you show. Sometimes Prima, they complain that we meet early in the morning or even late in the afternoon or in the evening. Could possible the education to finish the meeting at 11:30. So we thank you for the commitment that we have shown. The leadership of the African National Congress, I've seen Comrade Umpemba, Nopala ANC. Thank you so much for the guidance, for the support, and for the love you have instilled on us to love our learners, to love the people of KwaZulu Natal, to work hard for their upliftment. Without your directions and directives, probably things would be very difficult. So siyabonga kakhulu. I will also not have done justice if I don't thank my family. Ikakhulukazi umama wasekhaya uMakomo, for the continuing to be unbreakable support system. Not unbearable. Unbreakable support system. And I say, from the deepest of my heart, your contribution will not go unnoticed. At times, Mr. Prime, I'm sure it becomes so difficult. You come late at home, you leave early, you don't have time for your kids. But what's this car to told together Angela Angelin? But really, you have been a pillar of my strength, and for that, I thank you. And once again, I will say congratulations to the class of 2020. May you all prosper in all your future endeavors and continue to fly our flag very high. In you, we know that we have trusted ambassadors who will always show the world what kind of people we are in the province of KwaZulu Natal, and we sincerely thank you so much. The program director has directed me that I request all of us to rise and welcome the Premier of our province to take the podium, Honorable Zigala.
Thanks. We may be seated. May I take this opportunity to extend appreciation and acknowledge the presence of all of you who are here today, especially those who are in the education sector.
My acknowledgement also, Program Director, goes to you, Dr. Nzama, MEC Mshengu, MEC for Education, the Leader of Government Business, Honorable Nomsa Dubengube, and all MECs who are with us. In Ndlunkulu, mntwana waseNdlunkulu, inkosi yesizwe, usihlalo wendlu yamakhosi KwaZulu Natal, Nkosi Chiliza Madungeni, the Speaker of our legislature, Honorable Nontembeko Boys, as well as the Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee of Education, Honorable Sbia, the Leader of the official opposition in the legislature, Honorable Hlabisa, the unions that are here. We know that SATU is always part of us, NATU is always part of us, the school governing bodies, government officials who are here today. Well, MEC Mshengu acknowledge Mrs. Mshengu, but I want to acknowledge also the presence of Mrs. Zigalala, but who is not unbearable. This unbearable part, I don't know how it exists, MEC Mshengu. Colleagues, mntwana waseNdlunkulu, mntwana uThulani Makeba, we all know that had it not been because of the situation, His Majesty uBhenjani Phumesiqiwini, isilo samabandla, would have been with us here today. Nemkhankaso yonke aye ayilide nathi kwezemfundo. And therefore, siyabonga ubukhona bakho Makeba, but also siyazi ukuthi iNdlunkulu yonke nobayede unathi njengoba unathi. Thina besilisa make sisukume sibingelele sihloniphe iNdlunkulu ngokufanele. Wena wendlovu bayede, siyabonga bayede hlanga lomhlabathi. Compatriots and friends, today we gather to mark an important day as we celebrate the release of the matric result for the class of 2020. As the government and the entire population of KwaZulu Natal, we join the rest of the country in a collective note to pay tribute to our children who last year wrote the matric exams. We're here to say to all the learners, you have finally reached the pinnacle of your basic education and now sit to access the hard work you have put in it. So we stand together today marveling at the journey you have traveled, the mountain you have climbed, the rivers that you have had to cross, the valleys we have scaled for the past 12 years as we made it to matric. And to all we say congratulations. We know that the National Senior Certificate performance is one of the most critical indicators of the system's improvement. The province of KwaZulu Natal provided the largest number of candidates and the largest number of successful candidates in the year 2020 National Senior Certificate. Of the 135,276 candidates who sat for the National Senior Certificate, 104,985 achieved, representing 77.6% of those who wrote the exams. Compatriots, if you will have a class of matric alone, that is 135,000, it tells you. When we opened this academy on the 15th of January, on the 15th of February rather, I said in KwaZulu Natal we've reached almost universal access to education. And this is what attests to that. The number of learners who wrote for the exam of the Matric 2020. But on top of that, Ms. Mshengu, we should be proud to report to the people of KwaZulu Natal that the class of 2020 marked a 15,000 increment of learners from just above 120,000. So in 1 year, you increased by more than 15,000, and that tells you about universal access to education. Is a historic cohort of learners. It was a class made of a steel resolve, a class that proved its mettle as it defied the deadly odds. These are the pioneers who were the first to face the COVID-19 pandemic in grade 12 and to sit for the National Senior Certificate. It was in 2020 that teaching and learning also showed the divide in the education because of the online disadvantages and advantages in the system. At one level, education is a fairly good measure of how a country is skilling its youth and its workforce in readiness for the real world. Indeed, the content of the of the country's education, and particularly its orientation, determines the extent to which it can successfully compete with its counterparts in the rest of the world. Each time we educate a child, we educate a nation. Each time we educate a child, we educate a family and a community. So at another level, the South Africa education is therefore even more central because it places in the hand of all learners an access of equal value as they enter the real world for further education and work. In this manner, the function of education is that of social cohesion, bringing together people regardless of race, class, religion, gender, and other places of origin. As Nelson Mandela, the founding president of our democratic South Africa, famously remarked, education is the greatest weapon we can use to achieve equality and to change the lives of the people. The matric class of 2020 entered last year with enthusiasm and anxious of all their predecessors, breathing a sign of relief that they finally reached the end of their schooling. What we all didn't know and didn't bargain for was that 2020 was not going to be the same ever in the history of humanity. The advent of COVID-19 redefined life like no other pandemic or war has ever been able to do before. COVID-19 officially announced its arrival in South Africa in March 2020, when our province recorded the first case of the deadly pandemic in the country. By stroke of scientific discovery, we had landed among the nations of the world, including Europe and Asia, which were already deep into the pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic naturally brought pandemonium and a tie of fear and anxiety as we entered into a world that until now was unknown. The national lockdown meant that schools were also closed in order to allow the country, the continent, and the world to think through solutions against coronavirus. Education naturally changes life, but life under COVID-19 changed education drastically. The introduction of online education and remote learning has now become the new normal, but has admittedly been a disruptive factor and force for what we used to know. We want to congratulate the Department of Education for steering the ship of our education through this challenging period and getting these results. The result this year nationally reflect a qualitative dip compared to last year. A similar trend was observed in KwaZulu Natal, but we wish to state that these results are truly to be commended, given the strange and unusual circumstances we faced as a result of COVID. And therefore, we wish to express our hearty congratulations to the class of 2020 for refusing to be defined by conditions they found themselves in and for keeping the eye on the prize. I remember now former President Mbeki saying, to complete the journey, you need not to lament in between, but you need to focus on the prize. Those who finish the journey are not those who ask on the way how adversities will be, and are not those who will say how steep is the journey, but are those who will say there is a prize, and irrespective of what, I will attain the prize. And we commend you for that. Differences and contradictions are the nature of life. Even as a person alone, when you are born, you begin a journey, and a journey of negation of negation. And in that journey, contradictions will always prevail. Today, collectively, with learners, workers, educators, the principals, all managers, including the HOD, we celebrate with you. Irrespective of differences we had before, but today we are all together and sharing a collective celebration, and we thank all of you for the work. It is clear that without creating the impression that the Department of Education has addressed and overcome a number of challenges in school, it must be acknowledged that a great progress has been made toward providing quality education. and conducive teaching and learning environment for teachers and learners. Out of the 144,307 candidates who enrolled, we acknowledge those who have passed and those who excelled, earning distinctions and the best available symbols. Your hard work has paid off, and the future awaits for you beyond the classroom of 2020. We, however, also wish to send a special message to all those who may have not earned their diploma qualification and who may be compelled to repeat. There remain an entire universe ahead of you and outside of Matric. We have developed an education system that embraces every human capacity, from those who want to become engineers, pilot, and those who want to become social workers, preachers, plumbers, and electricians. We believe that the success or failure is not defined by one performance at Matric. Success depends on the choices one makes in life and one's commitment to the art of self-discipline and hard work. Our system has universities of technology, but we want to encourage more and more people to take up vocational training and skills education. Let me pause on this and underline what I'm saying. Number of researches about the fault line that exists between the economy and the education system attest to one fact. What is produced by the education system is not easily absorbed by industries. And therefore, you get lots of professionals with qualifications but becoming unemployed. And therefore, we will want to emphasize vocational education. Vocational education does not constitute a lower level of education, but its practical nature is that a developing country like ours requires a lot of technicians who will be able to use art and do work directly. We cannot grow our economy and create jobs unless we encourage innovation with more people who can use their hands to build, repair, and maintain systems. And therefore, we want to encourage that. We're pleased to report that we will continue to diversify the educational output of our system. By 2022, 4 new schools in KwaZulu Natal will implement the teaching of technical occupational subject, which we piloted from 2020. These are Dramaros in Umlazi, Westridge in Umlazi District, Tukela Pre-Vocational in Amajuba, Newtown in Umkungundlovu. We can also assure you, compatriots, that by 2021, a further 6 schools in the province will pilot the technical occupational subject as part of introduction of the 3rd stream. These schools are Justice Ngumalo in Umkanyagude, Falaza Technical High School in Zululand, Sihayo Technical School in Umzinyati, Enkomokazini Technical School in Uthukela, Ingwe Mabala Comprehensive High School in Ugu, Singisi Technical School in Herigwala District. In 2021, 2 technical high schools will be added to the 70 technical schools that offer 2 or more technical subjects to bring the total to 72. In the same year, the province will open the Dablamanzi Agricultural Focus School as an addition to the 4 existing agricultural schools in KwaZulu Natal. As you are aware, we launched the Anton Lembede Mathematics, Science and Technology Academy here in Lamesi, where we are today. As we said earlier, our educational offering must continue to equip every child with a variety of skills that provide opportunities for all. And for this reason, we're pleased that 60 foundational phase schools supported by the province are piloting coding and robotics in grade R to grade 3. And I think that needs to be commended. Coding and drones as part of the curriculum at grade 8 and grade 9. Pilot coding and robotics in 2021, supported by the Department of Basic Education. I'm sure the Secretary of the ANC, Mr. Mtumsentuli, will find comfort to report that in KwaZulu Natal, we have not only achieved universal access to education, but we are now achieving the quality. Our education system also teach entrepreneurship and have piloted the program in King Cetshwayo in 2020 and 2022. We will be upscaling this. These days, I'm starting one comparative study done by one professor in Malaysia, comparing affirmative action and economic transformation between South Africa and Malaysia. And I'm very inspired to learn that the conditions to improve the performance of education, of economy, are highly dependent on introducing entrepreneurship in schools. And I think we must commend this approach. Already in 2020 and 2021, youth and provided them with stipend and bursaries to undergo a qualification training from 3 TVET colleges. That is Umgungundlovu, Umfolozi, Umnambiti TVET colleges. I'm hoping that Honorable Sotobe, when you take your portfolio committee to assess the work, you will equally visit these TVET schools and see for yourself what the learners are exposed to, because this is very crucial as an intervention on reskilling our youth to get technical skills. With these words, we once again congratulate and applaud the hard work of all involved in the education sector. We also want to thank the parents, the communities for the role they've played and continue to support delivery of successful education system. We have always known that it takes a village to teach a child. In 2020, we have learned the true and practical meaning of that statement. We urge once more all parents, SGBs, and all involved to take a keen interest in the education of our learners. Once again, we salute all the hardworking, diligent, and dedicated teachers and principals at all our schools who have contributed to the excellent results of 77.6%. As my parting message to all learners who didn't achieve the results they expected, please remember what former President Nelson Mandela once said, where he stated, and I quote, "The greatest glory in living is not in failing, but in rising every time we fall, close quote. Together, let's grow KwaZulu Natal. I thank you.
Hayi, angifuni nami ngingakwazi ukusebenza ngoba songivimbele ey'koleni zami. Magayi, thank you very much. Ngicela ukuchaza nje bahlonishwa, leli bhuku esilikhiphayo linama-results ney'fundo zonke kusukela ka-grade R up to grade 12. That document contains results starting from grade R up to grade 12. I-performance yabo unyaka wonke odlule kuze kube manje sizama ukuthi sithi asifocus ku-grade 12 kuphela kodwa sithenga system, so that document represents the whole system on how the department has been performing. Ngoba ukuze sifike la sikhona kumele sibe strong lapho ku-grade R, sibe strong lapho ku-foundation phase, bese siya ku-intermediate phase, senior phase up to phase yokugcina ku-grade 12. Thank you very much for that. Without any waste of time, zathi sowakhipha ngokukhulu ukushesha. Akekho umuntu ozofika usikhiphela ama-results afika abingelela aqale phansi, uzovela ahlale phezu kwama-results. Ngizokuthula to aye sathi to update eqala. Wozake Ms. Dlamini. Thank you. Zama ukubamba isikhathi.
Program Director, all protocol observe. I will present the category Top Adult Learner per Learning Area, which is the body of knowledge or subjects that they were doing. The learners I will present have achieved at NQF level 1, and the learners I will present, all of them are at their various districts where they will receive their awards. From Amajuba district, from the center name is Engeleni Aided Center. The subject is Early Childhood Development, is Pelebana Amanda. From Herikwala district, the school or center is Riverside Park, and the subject is Isixhosa, is Nzanibe Mhlonipeni Richard. The district is Ilembe district. The center is Indewende Adult Center from Emandeni. The subject is Economics and Management Sciences. The learner is Mtonga Elizabeth. From King Otwayo, the center is Ensingweni Adult Center. The subject is isiZulu. The learner is Mazibuko Lekitula Zinhle. Coming from Pinetown District, and the center is Segubushe Public Center. The subject is Human and Social Sciences, and the learner or the adult learner is Ntinga Zinhle Bongeka. Applied Agriculture and Agricultural Technology, and it is Ngati Lingi Mandisa. Coming from Mkungundlovu District, the center is Pumelela Park, and the subject is mathematical literacy, and the learner is Jacobs Malcolm Jonathan. Coming from Omkayabute District, the center is Josini Abed Center, and the subject is information and communication, and the learner is Mtali Tabile Cynthia. Coming from Umlazi District, the subject is English, and the center is Ulwazi Abed Center, and the learner is Kirsten Bianca. Coming from Umzinyati District, and the subject is Natural Sciences, and the center is Tutugane Public Adult. The learner is Ulis Monelo. Coming from Utugela District, and the center is Inabaya Mangwe, and the subject is Wholesale and Retail, and the learner is Mzimela Nkanga Edgar. Finally, coming from Zululand District, Wanjimwayo Apex Center, the subject is Life Orientation, and the learner is Ngwanyana Mukulego Andile. I thank you, Program Director.
Listen, this is the Lamas. Okay.
Yes,
Thank you very much. Listen, district, district asibuka nje basibiza. Sizoba top 5 ya correctional services. Ingane zethu ezifunda zilapha endaweni la sigcinwe khona. So biza nje kuphela top 5. Ngicathi correctional services is connected at Durban Westville. Mr. Mazibuko, if you could please be quick. Ungabikeleli. Vele ubiza nje.
Program Director, thank you very much. The top 5 learners from correctional services are as follows. I need to indicate, Program Director, that all these 5 learners are coming from Pinetown District, and all of them are coming from Use Tubeni Youth Center. Position 5 is Ndlovu Ayanda Lucas. Position 4 is Vilagazi Siyabonga Sabelo. Position 3 is Ndlangisa Siviwe Mualimo. Position 2 is Mbatha Nhlakanipho Comfort. And position 1 goes to Kamane Kwazi Slindile. Thank you very much, Program Director.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Top 5. That was top 5 young districts. Yes, correctional services. I'm taking now 12 districts. We're identifying 5 top learners from each district. So it's going to get top 10 in the province. Let me take a district of Kala. Is a president of Mr. A. Kumede. Mr. A. Kumede. uzosipresentela top 5 ama-district, Uku district. Over to you, Mr. Awusabingeleli usuyasho nje. Ungena endabeni.
Thank you, Program Director. I will present the top 5 learners in the first 4 districts. The first one being Ugu, followed by Harry Kwala, then King Pechuayo, and the last one will be Umkanyagut. Under Ugu district, we have Utom Marco Gavastav from Potchefstroom High. Position 4, we have Unai Guthiolin from Umzinto Secondary. Position 3 is Yegopal Jesharam Levin from Potchefstroom High. Position 2 is Mshongo Lwazi from Nobamba High. And position 1 we have Kuzwayo Luyanda from Kukulesizwe Secondary. That was Ugu district. The next district is Herikwala, and position 5 we have Umayeza Sinalo from DRC Senior Secondary. Position 4 is Mofokeng Silondile from Ladam Senior Secondary. And position 3 is Hatebe Sandiswa Amugelwe from Mariathal. Position 1 is Sekane Tembelishe Innocentia Apilile from Little Flower Secondary. That was Herikwala. And the next district is King Pechuayo. Position 5 from Mbangeni High School, we have Sabata Ekfan. Position 4 from Bizimali High School is Numalo Lucinda Pinky. Position 3 from Gono Secondary is Dladla Awanda. Then in position 2 from Tolobushe Secondary, we have Langa Sabelo. And position 1 from Tolobushe Secondary, it's Masinga Ayanda. And the last top 5 learners I will call are from Umkanyagut. Position 5, we have Umsweli Dunsile Standra from Isivungu Junior Secondary. Then from Godile Secondary, Sinonyembe Togozani Tobile Zevile. In position 3, from Sitembi Tata Secondary, we have Nombela Slindile Shonipile. Then in position 2, we have Ukumete Sishesabelo from Shudu Junior Secondary. Then position 1, from Ezintabeni Secondary, we have Umkwamuri Simbonile.
Ramaran CFO, we are presenting 4 districts, Ilembe, top 5, and Mkungulovu, top 5. Mr. Ramaran, we are not greeting. Asbali Malu was a Ramaran. Please.
Thank you, Program Director. Leadership, I'm going to present to you the top 5 in Pound Town District. Number 5 is Kiran Naidu from Westworld Boys High. Number 4 is Himlal Niranjan from Westworld Boys High. Number 3 is Saman Maharaj from Greenberry Secondary. Columba Cynthia from Westworld Boys High. That is the Pine Town District. For Ilembe District, number 5 is Guneda Wiseman from Tugela Secondary. Number 4 is Nirvana Ramparsad from Stengamena Secondary. Number 3 is Talia Shanice Augustine from Stengamena Secondary. And number 2 is Stimbela from Zutopani. And number 1 is Treshavel Governor from Stengamena Secondary. That is for Ilembe District. For Angungulu Gungundlovo district. Number 5 is on this one. Number 4 is Shalom. Number 3 is Deepika. Number 2 is Ahmed Ashraf from Restock. And number 1 is Praishta Haidas from Peter Marisburg Girls High. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. In terms of the last district, Pinetown, we have Kiran Naidu from Westfield Boys High. Number 4, we have Himal Niranjan from Westville Boys High. And number 3, we also have Sanam Maraj from Greenberry Secondary. And number 2, Shaheen Gavinda from Westville High. And lastly, number 1, Columbia Cynthia from Westville Girls High. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ramadan. We are checking the last 4 districts: Amajuba, Zululand, and Ziyati, and Utugela. Advocate DDG Masu is going to present those last 4 districts. Over to you, DDG.
Thank you, Program Director. Honorable Premier, I'm presenting the top 5 from Amajuba. On the 5th position from Pendulani High School is Mahlatse Sibongile IV Masondo. From Ferram High School is Kwake Nar Kali. 4th position. 3rd position from Lincoln Heights High School is Kavenda Davachni. From Zama Secondary School, 2nd position is Shongwe Wanele Kunisile. Then on the top position, number 1 from Pendugane again is Mposula Makona Fosenhle. The next district is Zululand District. On the 5th position from Matunjwa Secondary School is Msimango Zakele Sifiso. On the 4th position from Logotwa High School is Kumalo Tunegile Tina. On the 3rd position from Masibumbane High School is Mpungose Siatemba Hope. On the 2nd position, again from Masibumbane, is Nanana Minenhle Kebile. On the 1st position, from Sikamise Secondary, is Matebula Nonsigalelo. That was Zululand. Then the 3rd district, Umzinyati District. On the 5th position from Dande High School is Tom Stephen Edna. On the 4th position, Esikumbuzweni Secondary is Ngobese Tobelihle. 3rd position, Ebusi Combined is Mia Sanelisiwe Simobile. 2nd position, Sarah Silias is Khan Miriam Bibi. Then the top learner on the last district, Utugala District. On the 5th position from Mshwaneni High School is Shabalala Kolile Tembega. Fourth position, again from Mshwaneni, is Zulu Amanda Mangoba Senza Ngakona. On the third position from Stateville Secondary is Shingange Kositandile Lesebi. From Ladysmith High School, on the second position is partner B, Ashwari Ashwin. Then on the top, the first position from Ladysmith High again is Ratman Tashfik. So those were the top 4 learners from the 4 districts. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Advocate Masugu. Our DDG, Honorable Premier, Honorable MECs, may I present top 6 learners from special schools. Top 6 learners from special schools in KwaZulu Natal. Mr. Mazibugo, if you could please assist me with the presentation of top 6 learners from special schools. I'm sure you know the rule. We don't greet, we just talk. Thank you very much.
Okay. Program Director, thank you very much. Honorable Premier, I'm presenting the top 6 learners from special schools. The position number 5 goes to Pinetown District. The center is Watintwa School for the Deaf. The candidate is Ngubane Sinoyolo Sisigelelo. The candidate is Lamini Siseko. The fourth position, which is a tie, goes to Pinetown District again. The same school, AM Mula Spesnova. The candidate is Msane Nombulelo. Position number 3 goes to Umlazi District. The school is open air. The candidate is Mapumulo Nomfundo. Second position goes to Pinetown District. The school is Fulton School for the Deaf. The candidate is Hans Roth Khadija. Then position 1 goes to Umlazi District. The school is open air. The candidate.
Totally correct.
Yes.
Ms. Dlamini, uyabuya stage, Mhlonishwa Premier. Ms. Dlamini is going to present the top girl learner in mathematics and physical science, a top boy learner in mathematics and physical science, a top girl learner in accounting, and so on. Ms. Dlamini, if you could please take.
The learners I'm going to present are the learners who achieved against adversity. That means that that particular learner was exposed to conditions that were not normally conditions that a child of that particular age was supposed to be exposed to. And we say these learners achieved against adversity. The first category of learners is a top girl learner in mathematics and physical sciences against adversity. This combines both mathematics and physical sciences. The girl learner is coming from Amajuba. The name of the school is Pendugani High School. The surname is Mposula. The name is Zakona. It's a girl learner who achieved against adversity in mathematics and physical sciences. Another top learner in the category, a boy learner now, in physical sciences and mathematics against adversity is coming from King Cetshwayo district. The name of the school is Ngono Secondary. The learner is Dladla Awanda. I am moving further, program director, to a top learner in accounting against adversity. The learner is coming from Zululand district. The name of the school is Sikamise Secondary. The learner is Matebula Nonsikelelo. Moving further, program director, now in only a subject called physical sciences. Initially, it was physical sciences and mathematics, but now taking a subject called physical sciences. The top learner against adversity who performed and achieved against adversity in the subject physical sciences, grade 12, 2020. The district is Umkhanyakude district. The school is Mshutu Junior Secondary. The learner is Gumede Sihle. Again, a top learner in physical sciences, still coming from Amajuba. The school is Pendugani High School. The learner now in physical sciences alone is Mposula Zakona. Again, coming to the subject mathematics alone, not coupled with physical sciences, but still a learner who achieved against adversity. The name of the learner coming from King Cetshwayo. The name of the school remains Ngono Secondary School, and the learner is Dladla Awanda. Thank you, Program Director. And I'm told these learners are here.
May I announce that all learners in adversity have been awarded bursaries by SAICA, all of them. Thank you very much. We want to appreciate the support of SAICA, Kendrick Mang. Thank you. We are now taking the big category, the top 10 in the province. Who are those? I'm going to call upon Dr. Mtembo, our DTG curriculum, to come forward and present the top 10 to our Premier, Honorable Premier, MEC, and honorable members present. You should come and stand just in front of our honorable members so that you are able to take a photo and be handshaken by the Manjela Pela. Just for now, let me allow Dr. Mtembo to please take the floor.
Thank you. May I announce the top 10 learners in public schools. We don't have number 9 and 10 because we're off ties. 2 learners who got position 8, and the names is Baldio Kiash Nadasin, and the other one who Kanaye Akshar. Those are the 2 number 8s that we have. We also have a learner who got number 7, that is Naidu Karim from Westville Boys High. Number 6, we have 2, that is the first one is Naye Shireya from Denville Park Girls, and the other one is Ramesu Vaman from Umkomazi Secondary. Then in terms of number 5, we have 2 again. One is Naku Miranian from Westville Boys High, and the other one is Sanam Maharaj from Greenberry Secondary. Then number 4 is Samaru from Effingham Secondary. Number 3 is Varrajulu Jagan Nahar from Southland Secondary. Number 2 is Cynthia Obono Eyono from Westville Girls High School. Thank you. They are requested to come and stand in front here for further protocols. Not there, down there. Oh.
May I request uhlonishwa uPremier Ndolankulu no-MEC nizobaxhawula nje abantwana. Ngicela imithi isondele. Ubani number 1? Can number 1 stand right at the end? Who is number 1? Are you number 1? Okay, fine here. Can you move a little bit down? Yes, we can move a little bit down. Yes, we are fine there. Let's observe the social distance. Well done, guys, well done. Good work. You did well. National category. Bacela isithombe. Sizothatha abase-national.
Imali-ke njalo bafethu bangena stop. Invoice wena mfana. You're right for Great.
Okay. Please wait a bit. Can you kindly observe the social distancing? And maybe one of you put their let some women also stand here at the front. The shorter one.
I fit your parliament.
Dr. Mthembu. Where is Dr. Mthembu? Honorable Premier, we still have the last category, top 9 learners that represented province at national yesterday. That's the last category. Some of those learners are here already. Let me allow Dr. Mthembu to call them before our Honorable Premier and Honorable MEC leave the stage. If you could please leave the stage. But those that are in top 9, that was...
Thank you. These are the learners who presented, who were acknowledged at national level. The first one comes from Herikwala district, Chembelihle Innocentia Chengane, is second place in quintile 2. That was a national award. The other one comes from Pinetown Gelofte High School, Kruka Johannes Stefan, second place in physical science in the country. The next one is from Pinetown District, Fulton High School, Hansrod Kadila, third place in South African Sign Language. The next one from Westville Boys High School, it's Cynthia Eyono Obono, second place in quintile 5. Then the next one comes from Watindwa School, Sinoyolo Sisekelo, second place in South African Sign Language. The next one is from Umlazi Effingham Secondary, Tipika Samru, first place in quintile 4. The next one is from Zululand, Sibusi. The next one is from Kukulesizwe Secondary in Ugu, Kuzwayo Luyanda, third place in quintile 3. And the last one is Nomatias Technical School, Zuma Pumlani Wanele, first place in the country in technical science. Thank you.
For picture purposes, may I humbly request that you step at you come forward a bit?
These are top 9 learners that represented the province at national yesterday. These are our top achievers. Thank you very much for the work well done, colleagues. And guys, thank you.
All right.
All right.
There must be a gap. She must be here in front of her.
Stand here.
Stand here. Then you stand here. You stand next to her. So that you don't get up next to each other.
Mr. Palestine, also very to the one. Mr. Palestine. These are top 9 learners that represented province at national yesterday. Congratulations to all of you. Well done. A round of applause. Thank you very much. Siyabonga bahlonishwa sesingamuva kusephansi.
You don't want the top learner to respond.
Where is the top learner? Please give us just a short message.
Well done, sister. Thank you.
Oh, stand in the center.
Okay. Okay. Can I start? Okay. Good morning. My name is Kolom Obono Eyono, and I am the first learner in KZN. I would like to thank first and foremost God, and then my parents and my siblings, my school, my teachers, and my peers for their constant support. I'd also like to thank only our province, but in the country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sis. Thank you. Sabara cool. Thank you very much.
Over to you.
Okay. Okay. What me left? Okay. What you need? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Gimela, Mr. Stand here. All right. Okay, thank you. Following people, Program Director, Dr. Nzama, HOD of Education in KZN, the Premier, Mr. S. Zigalala, the MEC for Education, Mshengu, who is the hosting MEC, Chairperson of the Provincial House of Traditional Leaders, Unkosi Utkiliza, Speaker of the Legislature, Ms. N. Boyson, Leader of Government and Business, Ms. N. Dube Nube, and all MECs present. Leader of the official opposition in the legislature, Mr. Shabisa, Chairperson of the Education Portfolio, Mr. M.M. Sibia, spouse of the Premier, spouse of the MEC of the Education, Umtwana Wasendokolo, Provincial Secretary of the ruling party, Mr. Timseni Ntuli, leaders of labor unions, leaders of SGPs and associations, DOE senior management, members of all the media, members of the South African Police Services, the sponsors who made this event a success, Mr. Muzi Nkambela from Process Lethal, Mr. Tanda Nyanda from Dabasa, Standard Bank, SAICA, and all other sponsors that contributed to the event. And last but not least, we want to thank all the principals, the teachers, the learners, the supporting staff.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dr. Palestine, Honorable Premier, Honorable MCs. We have now come to the end of the function. Thank you very much for your presence. We have arranged lunch for everyone. From here is in the main hall. The main hall is this side. But I've been requested to request Honorable Premier and Honorable MEC Mshemu to please move into the same room where we were this morning. So as I made a statement, it won't take long. Ngiyacela impela umhlonishwa uNdlunankulu nomhlonishwa MEC Mshemu may I all stand and allow the front table to please move first. Mr. Siyalandela. Ngicela ukusho ukuthi konje ilunch ikhona la ngezansi for everyone. Thank you very much. Siyabonga i-presence yawo wonke umuntu okhona, and thanks to our learners that have contributed to this function. Thank you.
Because they always feature in our top 5. And they still owe us, unfortunately, Mr. Principal. You owe us a candidate that will go to national. I always maintain this, that if you are number one, you must be comparable to other number ones. You can't be our number one and not match up when it comes to level. Congratulate our girl children in the top. They are taking the larger percentage, they are 3. And then angimazi-ke nje ngempela uma umbuka ukuthi ayethi kanjani befika kanjani kwa-ayethi. In such a way that you've represented our district very well. Siyayibonga zonke iy'kole o-principal. Ahloniphani. Yabona ukuhloniphana ukuhambe nje uzocabanga ukuthi akuhlali umuntu ngale. Gela. When you are outside of Ilembe and you hear people saying there's Tugela, you think they can't talk IsiZulu properly. But there's a distinction between Tugela and Tugela. And there's history behind that. Makama, we are very thankful for the kind of a performance. We know you've been to that school not more than 3 years as a principal. But you can see the strides. But really, your performance has just been there with the rest of the best. Colleagues, there is unconfirmed data that I would like to, I'm saying unconfirmed because we're still waiting for a document, official document from province. But once more, allow me to congratulate Mapumolo CMC for producing 79.74%. That we grow as a system. We know what we faced last year, but we have that resilience. Let me congratulate. You see, if I would say there's top 3 in terms of CMCs, there are 3 anyway. So I can't announce top 3. But we have Ndwetwe at 75, we have Stena at 76. The gap, the gap is becoming narrower and narrower. Babu Panza, we have 14 seconds as a district. And of 14 seconds, 6. Remember, our target was 10. We said we need 10 seconds above 80. We got 6. It's closer. We have another 6 performing between 72 and 79%. And then the last 2 at 66 and 64%. I said earlier, colleagues, my preamble was unconfirmed because we are waiting for the official. But I can tell you that, the top 3 seconds at 89 comes here. by a circuit at 86 Pambela circuit. Followed by a circuit at 81.2 Umhlali circuit. Followed by a circuit at 80.61 Untunjambili circuit. Followed by a circuit at 80.38 Ozwatini circuit. What surprises me, Mr. Mbele rises up and he makes a Kaiser Chiefs symbol. I wonder what it's. Colleagues, we're going to go back home in our offices and analyze these results and check thoroughly, review where we went wrong. I can tell you, last year we had 2 months of teaching. This year we're going to have 3 months of teaching. If our scientists are accurate, they are saying we may get disturbed by the third wave. I can see Deputy Director from Health is nodding. So colleagues, we must teach like never before between now and May, because it is already as given to us as a forecast to say June going that way, we'll face the third wave of coronavirus. So we might be disturbed there. So let us make good use of this first 4 months of our teaching. We will therefore sit, colleagues, and analyze our work, last year's work, so that we come up with a new program moving forward. Siyabonga kakhulu colleagues, siyabonga ama field workers. Babu Zungu, please convey our gratitude to subject advisors. Circuit managers are here. We are thankful to you. We know you don't sleep when you're doing all the operations, your bows, your corners, and everything. But you can see, colleagues, when Ilembe is mentioned, our work is safe. Because, colleagues, when you're not doing well, we are running a performance-based system. If you're not doing well, you can even get dismissed from work. So we need really to work thoroughly. That is why we are forever thankful to our youngsters. Colleagues, our youngsters have received their certificates and also laptops. Yeah. Even long as but we believe, as you are all young, before the end of the day, you'll be able to navigate how to use everything that is there. So when we host our district awards, because we need you there as well. So we would need your presence as well in our district awards. Colleagues, our function has come to an end. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, bengicela nje umzuzwana, just 2 announcements. First announcement, please make sure that you have signed the attendance register. Everybody who is in here, for accountability reasons, he's smiling for those who attended this event. The second announcement, lunch is served. Lama VIP guests led by the director, chief director, and the director of health will be the first one so that we observe a distance. Now, myself being a former biology teacher, which is now called life sciences, I understand very well the older ones protect the younger ones. So the awardees, the heroes of today, those who have been awarded, the learners, will be the second table to go and have a lunch. How long? How long? Okay, when lunch is served in a few minutes, kodwa ke establish a protocol uthi izolandela kanjani. Thereafter, the learners, the principals of schools will be the next one to go and have their meal. It will be the district officials in that order. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.